Hello Raiders, this is Ezron. Welcome to my Deliana account bastion. It is the 23rd day of this account. I did make a few neat discoveries today that I think are probably worth relating to everyone. First off is early on, this account is now level 41. It is still very, very smart and useful to do early tournaments. We just had the Ice Golem tournament that ended about 2 hours ago. And once the screen draws, you'll see where I placed. So here you are. I ended up in second place with a grand total of 443 points. That's not even enough to get the third tier of guaranteed rewards. But I think for a lot of new and early accounts, this is a great way to get gear, especially relentless gear. It would not surprise me at this point if I had better relentless gear on this account than I do on my main account, just because it's so much harder to win tournaments there. Come on, get out of here. I want to get back to claim my rewards. Stand by a moment. Yeah, I have no idea. I clicked on it a few times. I thought I would be able to dismiss this dialogue and actually just get rewards, but apparently not. I will wait till the day ends and then the tournament will figure itself out. Sorry about that, but that's sort of how it happens. I think the other thing to mention here is, let's talk about Arena a little bit. I made it into Silver 3. And I'm at the point now where I have to be careful about the fights I pick because they're not all gimmies. I'll refresh right now. Like this one should be reasonable, I would think. I will go click in and we'll watch this fight. And then I'll have some discussion after it happens. We will note that I changed my arena team slightly. We now have Diabolist here as a speed booster, and that's one of the things I figured out, that when building the team or when making the team, Diabolist seems to prefer her A2, but really what I want is for her to do her A3. Really the important part is decreasing the enemy's turn meters by 15%. The fill on ours is a bonus, but really it's the messing my enemy team up that I really wanted. So I had to make sure that I set this as the preferred element in team setup. I didn't know that beforehand. I don't know if that's common knowledge, but it was important for me here. After we do that, it's relatively easy to get the team to work on auto. And now I will click into this and we'll see how the fight goes. And we'll say that team is about 50% force affinity, so it may or may not go well just based on weak hits. And here we go. We're in the arena. Interesting, a shield team. So I go first. I did speed tune, so Diabolist goes first, and then War Maiden gets defense down, and Kael can hit pretty hard. There's a lot of Delianas, both in my team and in the teams that I face. That's very common because I think she's a very good champion. I think that's a Versulf the Grim. I was kind of surprised to see him. Apparently someone got lucky with a shard. But I feel good about winning this. Deliana, while she is a good support champion, doesn't do a whole lot in terms of damage. So when Kael gets a second turn or another turn, ooh, there we go, weak hit. That's why this is hard. But I think ultimately I've got this once I get War Maiden and Kael back into things. So, I don't know. It's getting a little bit closer. We will see how it works. Come on, Kael. There we go. So not the easy win I thought it would be. But with a little bit of speed tuning and then some UI setup, it is very, very possible. This is sort of where I am in Silver 3. I think it will take me a little bit to get into Silver 4. Really, the goal is Gold 1, but we'll see if that's possible or not in terms of just the competition I get. Like, here's another one that I don't think this is a speed aura. I will check. Oh yeah, essentially not an aura. So this again should be a straightforward fight for my team, especially because there are spirit affinity but not force affinity. So we'll see how it goes once we get into the arena. And here we are, all on auto. Diabolus goes first. Interesting, gets a resist with the turn meter reduction and a resist. That's it. With defense down. That is a tough champion, apparently. Oh, but goes in, tries to buff himself and can't, and then Kyle takes care of it. So, interesting. Didn't necessarily expect the high resist on the Guardian. He may have higher than normal natural resist, but I think overall it worked out well. The other thing I want to talk about today on the account is champions. And once I get over to the champions dialogue, I will click in. I've gotten some neat and interesting champions of late, several of whom went directly into the vault because of how this account works. So with Sacred Order, I finally got a militia, the last champion I need for the Broadmaul fusion, so I'm working on him slightly. We'll get rid of the red dot there. As well as a Mother Superior I got from a Mystery Shard. She's actually quite a good champion. I won't be using her, but you know, a better speed aura than Spirit Host, as well as she is a pretty good healer here on her A2. So I think, you know, she's a solid champion for anyone with an early account that gets her. If you're not doing anything unusual with your account and champions, she is very, very solid. Sorry, I accidentally clicked in Barbarians there. Also, in terms of Skinwalkers, I got a Greybeard who comes out of campaign, I think, stage 4. You know, he's a pretty okay, you know, control champion in terms of moderate percentage to provoke on A1. Can freeze, again, you know, a low to moderate percentage on A2. As well as shield and counterattacking himself. I do plan on using Greybeard just for faction wars. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't, but he's a solid champion for faction wars, either when you need help or when you are champion limited. Then the last thing I want to sort of bring up is I finally got a dwarf just from pulling mystery shards. And it was, I think it was actually Tunnel Steward that let me get a dwarf. But there are no guaranteed rare or higher dwarves anywhere in the game. So this is a pretty big impediment in terms of doing dwarf faction wars or otherwise rounding out your account. Like, none of these champs are really very good at all. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. These have all been food. That's probably what most people do with these dwarves. There are some really, really good rare dwarves, should you get them, that help with account progression. But nothing really in the uncommon territory. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those guys quite yet, other than sit them out and use them for food. I think the last thing to bring up here is the Guardian Ring. Now, I've been trying to maintain a stockpile of gems just in case I need it for people's masteries or other things. But I'm starting to open up the training slots. Right now I have Armiger, who I plan on building and using, He will be probably key to doing spider, as well as some food here. So as long as I stay above about 800 gems, I'm going to unlock the rest of the slots as soon as I can. The goal really is just to make more higher ranked champions faster, and this is a great way to do it in terms of making food. So here we are in terms of account progression for me at day 23. I think it's still very possible to make good progress. I'm going to go look back here in the portal. If you're not saving shards or if you're pulling shards, you know, at this point I have 32 ancients and 3 voids. You could have pulled all of them, you know, potentially gotten a couple of legendaries or really game-changing epics, as well as maybe a void or two. I think for many accounts that's possible, and that will help with progression a lot. With this, I'm leaning on Deliana and the other guaranteed champions. So I'm going to continue to grind, make some more 6-star champions, and work on a little bit of gear. Let me know how you're doing, if you've got Deliana, how she is helping your account. Otherwise, any comments or critiques, I'd love to hear. This is Ezron signing off. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day.